All right. Let's see how we're doing. Looks like we're right. That's not right. Let's try this again. That looks okay. That looks okay. Looks like things are on at this point. Awesome. All right, we're having fun now. Please check video resolution. What? Oh, it doesn't like that. It's not optimal. Interesting. Looks like it's working though. Let's give it a second. I will. I'm just gonna give it just another minute as I get things going. Hey, Nicholas Franks, good morning. All right, looks like everything seems to be running, which is a good sign. I'm looking at my control system here on my side, which you guys can't see right now. Actually, if I can show it to you if you want, it'll get all wonky because it'll go, you'll see a picture of the picture, but looks like everything's working okay. Cool. All right, let's get started. We've got a different task today than I've been doing for the last probably 3-4 weeks. I need to reverse engineer a part. Been asked to take a look at this part, see how things are going, and see if it's something that we could do. And I mean, I know it absolutely is something that we could do here. What I wanted to experiment with a little bit is how I draw it, because frankly, it's not terribly complicated. There's part of me that would just take a piece of cardboard to the back of this thing and trace it, and then just scan it in and go from there. Very similar to what I did in my last, I want to say it was my last live stream, where we made the hinge bracket. This time though, we're gonna work on this, right? We've got this bracket here that we're going to see if we can draw. There's not a lot to it. There, cover up some of this stuff. There is a feature in here that's been welded on, and this pin gets welded on. Looks like there's a little bit of clearance milled in on this side. We got bolt holes. Nothing fancy, right? So you know, it's got this bend. Oh, that reminds me. I knew I was forgetting something. My angle finder. I tried to set everything up ahead of time this time, and then forgot that. Figures. At least it's close by. All right. So let's just kind of take a look at this. You know, we've already identified the major portions of the the drawing, so it's not that bad. So let's play a little bit. Craig, hey, it's good to see you. Let's see. I'm gonna have to start minimizing some of these things. Let me see if I can keep a couple of things open while I do this, so I can at least chat with you guys as it goes. I'm going to switch to my picture-in-picture mode. All right, there's that. Oh, you guys can see on the background here, this is my control panel that I am using for our live stream today. This is actually the setup that I use when I do the summer bash. It's this setup. So a little different than you might see for some systems. This one lets me do some pretty crazy stuff, but not the focus for today. Let's move this over here. Looks like this is the smallest I can make it to, which is okay, I guess. Yeah, let's get started. So again, we've got this hinge. Oh yeah, there's that slot in there too, which I didn't mention. Let's just do some real basic stuff. I'm getting my rule out, and it looks like nothing is going to want to be easy on this. Okay, so it's 2 inches to the bend, and then from the bend, from center of the bend, it's 5 7/8 to the start of this angle, but we've got an angle, you notice, that's not straight, it's not perpendicular, right? So we know we've got the same, it's 2 inches, and if I line this up with that, looks like it's 4 inches, or 4 1/8, roughly. 4 1/4. We'll say 4 1/4. Now the middle of the bend's at 4 1/8. Okay. So we've got a pretty good idea of from here to here, from here to this line, like where the straight lines would intersect. We've also got from here to here, here to basically where these lines would intersect. So we can start mapping this out a little bit. I think what I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to draw, I think I might just draw a line, do a line drawing, come out and just account for roughly 6 inches, come up with this angle, come over here, and come back and close it out. I think that's going to be my first step on this. Technically this bracket goes like this, just easier to hold right now. Yeah, and I'm winging this, guys. I did not prepare this ahead of time. I was just trying to bring you all with me. So let's see. Zach, have to hit the road soon. Cool. Yeah, thanks, Zach. Appreciate it. Smooth travels today. Drive safe. Okay, so first things first. Let's save. I always start by saving my work. What this does is this turns the autosave feature for Fusion, it turns it on, right? So now it'll automatically, it'll create cached copies. So if I need to go back, or if something crashes on me, it's gonna have some version of this ready to go. Next thing, just in general, always good practice. I'm gonna right click on here and say new component. I'm doing this because if this becomes part of an assembly, it's already a component now. So really, really straightforward. You know, if you're not going to do any assemblies, not really a big deal. I occasionally do these assemblies, and so just out of habit, I'd rather always do it. Doesn't hurt to have it and not need it than need it and not have it. And yes, you can always convert later, but this keeps everything tied together in this one area. So from an organizational perspective, it's a little easier to do. So this is highlighted, it is activated. We will go ahead and create a sketch, and I put it on the XY plane just because that's what I'm used to. And I'm going to start doing this little drawing here. So remember where we're going with that. We'll just come out, up, down. Actually, you know what? I might rough in even that little slot. I do it this way because it lets me get a general feel for what the part's going to look like. So we know it goes up. I don't even know what the angle is. It comes down some amount. It goes over some other amount, and then it comes back up to that same line, at least we know. Then it goes up a little bit more, that same angle. It's going to come down. past there, we'll go, and I'm not looking at any dimensions yet. I'm just kind of giving myself something. And we know that this part is perpendicular. So it doesn't have any of the radii in there. It's just, hey, does that, when I'm looking at it, does that kind of mimic this? And it kind of does. Actually, it does not. It's not perpendicular. It's kind of, well, I'll fix that. Okay. Wife is heading out. Cool. All right. Let me just double check. Comments, nothing new. Cool. Back to it. All right. So let's see. We know, let's do some quick dimensions. That we've got, and I'm doing this as one part that I'm assuming I'll bend, but for right now we know we've, well, maybe I should do it as two parts. Can use the sheet metal. I don't think it needs to be that accurate. I'll have to look. That's the other thing I need to do. Let's look at the, I didn't look at how thick this is. It looks like it's 1/4 inch to me, but yeah, that's 1/4 inch. All right. I don't think I need to do much for a bend allowance on this. It's a pretty shallow bend. So we knew that it was 2 inches, and then we also had 5 7/8. It's also okay if it's a little long, so let's just make it 7 inches, right? Yeah, let's just make it, oh, 8 inches then. 8 inches. Whoa, that really threw things off, huh? Love it when that happens. We know that this is 2-inch strap. That it's, or sorry, it's not 2-inch strap, but that's 2 inches. Cool. Looking really neat now. All right. There's that. There's that. We said that was 2 inches and 4 inches, so this is 6 inches long. Now this is going to get all funky on me now. See that? Kind of neat, huh? So let's just kind of drag stuff back where we know it belongs. This is a neat part about the way that Fusion works, right? It knows, well, it kind of knows what we're supposed to be doing. And that's supposed to be coincident. Although it's actually more like up here, maybe? And again, I'm just kind of looking at this part. These are not parallel. When I look at the part, I can see that there's a much wider gap here than here. Which looks like it's just to make it easier to get on to the mount. But we'll do our best to match all of those angles. Yeah. So again, we're looking a little closer. Oh, okay. Just checking things out. Anybody bored yet? These kinds of things to me are actually a lot of fun. It's a big challenge. It's kind of hard to do. I'm trying to show you what I'm doing, but most times I would do it when it's flat on the, flat in front of me, so I can kind of set things down. And so it looks like if I split that angle, 4 1/8. Is that? Oh, that's my hundredths. Yeah, this should be at 4 1/8. Okay, so what I'm looking at now is the general height here. And this point to here should be at 4 125. And then we also know that there is an angle, but we'll get there. Let's repeat the process for this, and I might have to set this on something. I'm off the camera, but basically what I'm doing is I'm setting this on a flat edge so I can get the angle. Sometimes I would do this on my granite surface plate with the wow, what is that called now? You know what's always fun? When you're in the middle of a live stream and you just can't remember the terminology. I wanted to call it an edge finder. It is not an edge finder. I got it stuck in my head now, though. Anyways, a height gauge is what it's called. That appears to be for, if I'm looking at where that edge would go, 4 3/4. It pushed it way out because it doesn't know the angle yet. And again, I can drag this back in if I need to, right? But that was pretty close. All right, making some progress. Angle finder. Any guesses on that angle? Since this is to your back would be seeing this. It's a rather strange angle. Looks like it's 97 degrees. No, that wouldn't be. Yeah, 97 degrees. Okay. Go back to our dimension tool. $97 degrees. Okay. Any guesses what that one would be then? If that was 97 degrees, what's the opposite angle? Hey, why did it not change? Oh. What do you mean over? Oh, it's got a parallel to something in here. You gotta watch for stuff like that sometimes. Actually, I should have been 97 degrees again. No? What the heck am I doing? That can't be right. Oh, I'm taking it off the wrong spot. And why does it have... Wait, which... Coincident. Oh, that's fine. Okay. Let's just do... Since I'm apparently an idiot, let's keep it the same. Oh, I see what's happening. This whole thing is rotated. That's why. So when this moves, or this, I gotta figure out what I'm doing here. That's there, that's there. I guess I need to figure out what this angle is. I think we need this angle. Okay. Probably over constraining this too, or trying to over constrain it. This is at 109 degrees. That's what it's reading. And then, what's this angle? Sorry guys, I know you can't see. I'm trying to figure this angle out now. It's 69 degrees for some reason. What's it doing? Dimension. Make sure nothing is selected. This and this. 69 degrees. Anybody noticing a problem yet? I think we're going to definitely have a problem. I made this too long. For one. Trying to get an idea of where, how long this length is supposed to be, but I'm definitely not liking what I'm seeing. Anybody else have these problems? Hey Scott, I don't know if you're still on, but because this does not make me happy. Because we've got a dimension here and here. Let's take some of these angles out. Let's just figure this out. We know what this height is. Let's make sure I didn't get this height wrong. No, that was right. So that definitely needs to be out here somewhere. That definitely needs to be out here somewhere. Right. I should be able to okay, so we had that dimension. I should be able to do the same dimension from here to here and have that also be 97 degrees. Okay, that straightens that out. Let's move it out of the way. Well, guess not. It's fine, whatever. Okay, so that's correct. That's there. Let's figure out what this length should be. Well, this dimension was right. Oh, we've got that in there. That's correct. I've got this. Can I get... This angle should have been fine. Don't remember that being 103.8 degrees though. Okay. I've got this at 90. What is this? That same. Trying to get it just right. Oh, looks like it's that same. No, that's not right. There we go. It's showing about 98 degrees. Just kind of random. And see what that just did? Because if you've got this angle. Maybe I should. And I've got a height here. It has to. That's trig, right? So this length has to be right. I've obviously got an angle wrong somewhere. Could be this angle. No, it can't be because these are driven. This part's wrong. I don't have an angle here. Okay. Man, this stuff. People ask why the drawing side is so expensive sometimes, or like why it takes so long when you're trying to, like, but the part's there. It should be easy, right? Yeah. 93 degrees. And I don't have a great way to measure that right now. But let's see what that does. Why does it think it's, yeah, see, it's got that. Oh no, that should be fine. It's got a horizontal vertical on there. Neat. That just changed everything around. I don't think that's right. It can't be right. This is so frustrating. I don't know how to put this on a straight line either. Like, I guess I could create a line from here to here. That's a, I just pressed X, by the way. It's a construction line, and then force it to be on this. I could say that it's coincident here, and that's coincident to that. This just freaked out. Well, I obviously shouldn't have done that. That's okay. This is not fun, guys. Oh, yeah. This is not fun at all. And this is why a lot of times I don't do it this way. I would just take a bendable piece of cardboard, and I think I might still do that, and just bend it on, fold it on here, and then just start just trace around it, and then just scan the thing in. It's so much easier. I was trying to learn something new, trying to figure this out. That's frustrating as all get out, though. Okay. Let's see. This distance 525, but that's, it says it's 525, but it's also not taking into account that radius. You know what? This is really starting to get annoying. How do folks do this? How do you guys do this? Like, honestly, how do people do this? This is not fun at all. Oh, hey, Steven. I mean, it's like I'd almost have to put the radius in place and then do the measurement. And then let's see, I'll take the longer one. I'm basically having to guess a little bit on this. It's really not fun. Really? Why did it just do that? Now I've got that stuck. Awesome. Oh, there we go. Hope you guys are having more fun than I am on this. All right. More angle finding. What am I doing this against? We know this is 97 degrees, so we can go against that, I suppose. $69 degrees. 69 degrees. Okay, so from here to here, this is 69 degrees. See that? Whole thing just shifted. Did I tell it that this was 97 degrees? There we go. Okay. Now we're gonna do the same thing to pick up this one. And we know that it's a different angle. It's 59 degrees. Okay. So our dimension from here to here is 59 degrees. That's looking a little better. In fact, that should be our general shape. Interesting. Okay. Well, we also know that we've got some points that I'm going to put in for holes. And they're not terribly easy to do. So let's just say one is going to be here, another one's over here somewhere, and then I'll dimension that. There's one hole that needs to be somewhere around here. Another one that's somewhere up here. Why are we snapping to everything? And one that's somewhere over here as well. All right. These holes are sorry, I'm getting a measurement. .75. I wonder if this is metric. That would explain a lot. It looks like it's 94.5 millimeters. Yeah, it must be metric. So I was going to say, some of these numbers were not what I was expecting. And what's cool about this though, 94.5 millimeters, enter. Now we just need to pick up height and then distance from the front, and we're okay. So let's assume this is going to stay in metric mode. From here on out, Sorry, I know this must be boring as hell for folks. Not what I was intending for today. 10 millimeters from the bottom. 10 millimeters. I should probably check this. Yep. Say, I wonder how many people are actually on. Is anybody watching this? 5 people. Yeah. Not surprised. This is not the most not the most fun of my live streams, I'm sure. As it gets 875 from the center of the bend. We said that was 2 inches, so 2 inch 875 is what we should be here. I eyeballed that pretty close. All right. So there's that. Now, one good thing about what I can do here with this is I'll actually burn this out on the plasma table before I do anything else. I'll get the general design in place and poke some holes in places and see how things line up and decide, yeah, am I right, am I wrong, do I need to make some adjustments? I do this with really thin metal or like old scrap stuff that was just sitting around. And this is why when people ask, hey, you got any scrap? Well, no, because it gets used for stuff. But yeah, everybody gets a little, everybody wants something. Okay, let's see, we need to dimension all these guys. What's killing me is I'm taking dimensions from all different places. Ordinarily, folks, I like to take dimensions, everything from one place. So I ought to be taking all my dimensions. Let's say, like, here's where I started. I should be taking all of my dimensions from this point. You know, distance from here, the distance from here to here, and here. And to the extent that I can, I will do that, but it's kind of tough to do right now. The way this is set up, it might still be worthwhile to trace it on a piece of paper and, you know, double check or use that to help double check my measurements, and I'll probably do that as well. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to, because some of these things are just, it's not playing nice. I thought this was going to be like super simple, which is why I was going to do this on a live stream. And frankly, it's turned out to be, let's see, doing this method has turned out to be more challenging than my typical method. So, you know, all right, whatever. It is what it is. Learning something, thinking it through a little bit. Oh, hey, David, Peter. I'm glad you guys are enjoying the problem solving. At least you're getting to see how my brain works. I'm sure there are much better ways to do this. But this is how I'm kind of just working through it right now. I don't know that I am happy with how some of it's going, but you know, it's going. All right, the center of this, the center of that. I'm seeing 6.5 millimeter. So if I went from here to here, 6.5 millimeter, I am probably, let me turn these off. There we go. And then from this bottom to the center, 75 millimeter. I mean, at least I figured out that stuff's metric. That is making a big difference. We have another nice little feature here. Look, let me just double check, but it looks like Yep. That, well, maybe not. 76 millimeter? Is that on an angle? Okay, yeah, so what I was gonna do is make this and that line up. I'll have to double check that one because I'm not sure that's going to be reasonable. I'm not sure I like where some of these parts are, but when you're looking at this, there's a very, very small, web there. That's not a whole lot. Yeah, it's not. I'm gonna have to change that. Some of these things are just kind of crazy. Let's delete. We'll delete that. And this is actually 76 millimeters. And it looks like the distance here is 35 millimeters. Did I do my height on that? Yeah, it's here. Okay. This is a mess of a drawing. That can't be right, or that's not right. Oh, I never did the height on that, did I? Or here. That's why that's off. Okay. Standing it up using my little surface gauge. Let's say it's 85 millimeters. Okay, that makes a lot more sense. Do the same thing for this guy. Sorry, I'm going off the screen for a minute. It's just easier to lay it down and look at it that way. $105 millimeter. Okay. There. That looks good. Now let's get this hole here. We should be ready to go. Let's see. Okay. Nothing special going on there. And that looks like it's at 110 for its height. 110 millimeter. And then our distance. This is going to be the fun one because I really Not sure how I'm going to measure this. It's, again, I'm having to figure out like where to take a measurement from, because I don't have a good way to look at it. Like when I'm looking at this, I say, okay, well, I could cheat and just take the web measurement. Like how far in is that, right? And that's 8 millimeter, right? And that may be how I do it, at least for now. Because, well, where is it 8 millimeter from? Is it straight out? Yeah. Okay, boys and girls, step one. That's what it looks like. Well, I did Q for press pull. I made it a body. I'm going to turn my sketch back on. I'm going to tell it to poke some holes in this thing. Our holes are approximately, I'm reading somewhere in the 8.5 millimeter range. That also has the powder coat in there, 338. 300. These are probably 8 millimeter. 8.5. 775. Yeah, so I'm guessing it's 8.5 millimeter for the two small or two bottom ones, and it makes sense for it to be 7.75 mil for the three up here. I'm not sure. We're guessing it's not a 3-inch diameter hole. We said that was 8.5 millimeter. No target body. What? Let's flip it around. There we go. Okay. There's those holes. And if I right click, you can scroll up and do it again. We'll repeat the process. We're doing this, making 3 holes, and this time it is 7.75 millimeter, not inches. I must not be looking straight at it from the top. There we go. Okay. Our radius on all of these. I suppose I could go get my tool for that. Let's save our work. Chat. All right. Let's go get our radius gauge set. Or one of them. I have a couple. I bought one. I inherited one. That's snap gauges, radius gauge set. Okay. And the nice part about this is this doesn't have to be exact. There's some relative measurements that need to be correct. And then the areas where I do need to be really careful is this part, right? So these mounts, this needs to be in the right place. This needs to be in the right place. And I believe relative to each other, they might need to be in the right place. But the rest of this, I've got some leeway on. So, all right. Get our radius gauges out. Any guesses? What do you guys think? Go for it in the comments. What's that radius? Looks like it's the same radius all over. What you guys got? Nothing at all. Is anybody still watching? Yeah, there's people watching. Okay. Let's see. Oh, it takes time too. I didn't think about that. You guys are behind a little bit. Wow, I nailed that on the first try. That can't be. Look at that. All right. Let's go back to the chat for a second. Whoa. Oh, you couldn't see the part. Oh, that figures. Well, guys, it's 400, 0.400. So we'll just do the fillet tool. And whoa. Come on now. I need to recalibrate my space mouse. It's far too sensitive right now. I am guessing those are all exactly the same. Nope. It sure wasn't. Let's take this one out and this one. That one's not letting me, because I have stuff in the way here. Okay. So that's right there. This might have been. This might have been right. But here, if I do that one, throws it off. Oh, because it's the opposite angle. So do this one and say it's half that. No, that's still not right. That looks right. Based on what I see here, I don't know if you guys can see it or not, but what I see is that it kind of mirrors around it. All right, so if I look at this again from the front, I might actually change this one to the point 0.3 as well. Let's edit that. We're gonna come here. Why is that selected there? So that was 0.3. Okay. So we did 0.4 inch on this. Didn't do the math on that for metric, but oh, I forgot those. And it is kind of nice to be able to do multiples in that same feature. Might be too big. Yeah, that looks right. This spacing's not right, or this length here is not right. But we are a lot closer. When I look at that, I can see that that's not right. When I measure it, it's about 4.5 millimeters in that middle. So if I had to take it from the center point, it's probably 8.5 millimeter. So yeah, if I measure this, Really? Why did it pick it there? That's such a weird spot. Center to here. 442. Let's see. Yeah, that's 11 and something millimeter. I'm showing 8.5, so this is definitely not right. My guess is it's this, that this needs to move this way, but all right, we're getting closer. We are definitely getting closer. That's the basics of it, and we have been streaming for quite a while. I'm probably going to just go back and clean up some of this and keep working, but I don't think I'm going to keep all this on the live stream. This is definitely a long live stream. Let's. Oh, yeah. Not sure I like this one, guys. Might go back to my normal way of doing things, but it was fun to experiment a little bit. Thank you guys for sticking around and and watching as I fumble through this. You know, it's not always easy to do these things. Sometimes it just really, you gotta do a little trial and error and see where you get. But it took me an hour. Normally that kind of thing is like 10 minutes. So I'm not sure what it is about this particular part that's beating me up. But yeah, I'll probably redraw it using my tried and true method and come back and clean things up from there. But anyways, I think it's time to wrap this one up. It's been almost an hour. So thank you all for watching. Thanks for subscribing. Click that bell button if you want to be notified anytime that there is a new video. Hopefully I'll have some production work videos coming in soon. You know, for a while now, I've been working on these prototypes with a customer that we're controlled under NDA because they're working on getting patents and things like that. However, they want me to do the production work on it, and it sounds like they're about to get their provisional patent. I think everything's okay. So I've shown bits and pieces of this thing. I haven't shown all of it. So I should be able to start showing a little bit more of what's going on. I also have done a variety of other jobs lately that should become some recurring work. So that should be okay to show as well. So hopefully I'll have some more fun stuff coming up. But with that, let's sign this one off. Thanks again, and I'll see you soon.